death. Anon lost all track of time. He was neither asleep nor fully awake, but existed in a short, feverish dream state. He talked with the crazy man less and less frequently. At last the emperor returned, accompanied by an armed escort. Dismounting, he knelt down in the mud and slapped Anon on the face. "Have you remembered where my daughter is, scum?" Anon groaned in response. The emperor gripped him roughly by the cheeks. "Your 3 days are up. Give me something, anything." Desperation flickered in his eyes. "Your Majesty, I am not the man you seek. Please let me go, and you will never see me again." "Where is my daughter?" the emperor screamed. "What did you do to her?" "I told you I don't know, your Majesty, but if you gave me some more time, maybe I could help you find her." "Then you have chosen death," the emperor said, standing up and turning his back to Anon. "Cut him down." One of the guards reached with his sword and cut Anon free. His hands still tied behind his back, Anon fell on his head and crumpled into a pile at the base of the cross. "Come," the emperor said to his guards after mounting his steed. "I do not wish to be here when it arrives." At the mention of it the guards became visibly uneasy. They took their positions around the emperor and left as quickly as they had come, riding up the road back to the castle without so much as a backward glance. Anon lay there for some time, pondering his strange fate. Could this really be the end, he thought? He tried to move his legs, but it was useless. He had lost all feeling in them, and they had taken on a sickening blue color. Then he heard horse hoofs off in the distance, at first so faint they could have been mistaken for a trick of the wind. Soon they became more distinct, however, and Anon could hear the slow, methodical plods as if the horse marched towards some dark destiny. Anon tried to stand, but he only managed to get into a kneeling position. At the end of the forgotten road a dark rider was approaching. Hunched over his spectral steed and clad in jet black armor, the lonesome knight held the reins in one hand and with the other carried a black flag. Embezzled upon it was the image of a white flower. Despite the floral connotations, the flag struck a note of terror in Anon's heart. "I'd better be on my way before he arrives," Anon heard the crazy man say behind him, and he looked back at the man and watched as he reached up and slipped his foot out of the knot that had held it. He hung from the rope with his hands and dropped to the ground, landing on graceful feet. "You could get out this whole time?" Anon asked, astonished. "I only come down here to think," the man said, "and to tell you the truth, that that thing that's coming, it gives me the creeps. Anyway, it was nice to meet you, Anon Man Without a Shadow. Best of luck on your next journey. Remember, sometimes you have to look at things upside down to get the answers that you seek." With that, the old man wandered off into the hills beyond the hanging yard, opposite the direction of the approaching night. When the rider finally came into full view, Anon shivered in terror, for it was not a man in a dark suit of armor, but a skeleton. From inside its helmet the bony visage stared back at him, contorted by a wild schizophrenic grin. Anon tried to flee, but to no avail. His legs were as good as dead. He had no choice but to sit and wait for death to take him. The ghostly steed came to a halt in front of Anon, and the dark rider dismounted. "Please," Anon begged, "it's not my time. I am here by mistake. Please, you have to understand." The skeleton said nothing. It planted the black flag firmly in the ground and drew a long, shiny sword from the scabbard that hung at its waist. "You don't have to do this," Anon pleaded, but it was useless. The skeleton could ne- could not hear him or paid no heed to his words. Anon knelt in the mud, and on the far horizon beyond the rider he could see the cliffs from where he had found himself on his first day in this land. He saw the ruins of the watchtower, cracked halfway down its spire, and the words of the hermit came back to him. Oluma has gone to a place that once was. Wait, Anon said. I figured it out. I know. But it was too late. Death drew back his glimmering sword and plunged it straight into Anon's heart.